believe I'm about to watch this. Already limping. They should have just played the package and called it a day.
You don't give yourself enough credit.
It's like bloated Elvis.
The last ride from The Undertaker.
Trying my hardest to will myself through this.
Yeah. Reigns trying to overpower The Undertaker.
I feel bad for Roman. You dream about that match, to be in that match and tearing the house down, and I wasn't able to give him that. And that bothers me. I can make excuses all day long. Excuses are like holes, everybody has one. It's like I don't even know where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, man! And a huge spear into the heart of The Undertaker.
I haven't spoke to him about it. He's probably looking at me right now thinking, what was that guy all about? It's really disappointing.
I know that you were disappointed, but I don't think for 1 second he thought that.
I'm sure he did when he watched it back. I feel like I need some redemption for that performance. So, here we are.
Here we are.
There was so much emotion. You have to think of everything that's going on right there at that moment. The utter disappointment of the performance that I just give. There's the searing pain that's running down my leg, coupled with the fact that this is the last time that I'm gonna come and be on this stage in this manner. I don't think there's everything any more real than me putting those gloves and the hat and coat down.
I think it was very religious. The jacket, the hat. It symbolizes how Taker worked his entire career. When you leave that ring, everything's in the ring. You gave the fans everything, whether there's 400 people there or there's 400,000 people there, you leave everything you have in the ring. And Undertaker will rest in peace.
To see that symbolism and to see it in his face, which he never ever registers anything, that got me. That's getting me a little bit now. Even my son saw, I had a little, I'll admit it, I had a little tear coming down, and he's like, "You okay, Dad?" It's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm okay." It was such a reverent moment.
He left the Undertaker persona in the ring, literally, but he broke character for the first time in 30 years and kissed me on air. That was the only thing that gave me hope that, you know, selfishly as a wife who knows how much pain he's in, to believe that he's done.
I was so disappointed in my performance and the fact that I let myself do that. That was 100% real and me saying goodbye.
It's like heartbreaking. It affected me, like it made me, you know what I mean, emotional. It made me want to cry. I don't regret anything. Was it perfect? No. We are in the moment, and as live performers, anything can happen. to be able to do that, it's all coming back on his character. It's all coming back to the responsibility that he holds and that he succeeds at, you know what I mean? Like, if there's something that has to be done, there's a goal at hand, the man gets it done, plain and simple. And I think that it couldn't have been easy. I couldn't imagine that decision or being at that point, you know, in my career or my life to where this is the last one, so it's still hard to fathom.
I did the best that I could do for him. The problem was just my physical condition. My body was at the limit of what it could take.
He wasn't there, and he knew in his heart that it wasn't there.
Probably take a trip, probably to Turks and Caicos, and then I'm gonna have my hip replaced. My hip feels bad daily.
First and foremost, you care about the human being. Then you care about the character. From a human being standpoint, he had a big decision to make. You know, what do I do for my family? What's best for my family? And then what's best for me?
Have my kids be able to chase them and, you know, and play with them. And, you know, that's the stuff that's important. And everything that I've done for the last 30 plus years, it's time to kind of, you know, enjoy. I take a lot of pride in what I do in the ring and not being able to give the fans what they expect. I don't want to be a parody of myself. So if I can't deliver and give everything that I have that people expect to see I don't want to cheapen the work that I've done over the last 27 years. That plays a lot into this surgery, so we'll see what happens. Yep, here we go. It's game time.
Go, big guy. Come on. Sorry.
So I've had this surgery before, and to this day, completely pain-free in my left side. And now my right side is basically caught up. It's funny, we were just reliving the last time we were here, which the room's very eerily similar to the one that we were in. It's real now.
It's tough. I mean, I think obviously part of this is the waiting game, but that waiting game is super, super hard. It's a long day. All the pre-op before, it's a lot of sitting around, which makes your mind kind of wander. Never gets old though when they say, have you had any surgeries in the past? And it's like, take your pick of which body part has not had surgery.
And no surgeries in your past? Appendix, tonsils? Have you had surgery?
Yeah, I've had a few.
He's laughing.
Well, because it's from head to toe, literally. That's why we laugh.
Yeah,
like-
because there's nothing.
I've had over 15.
What kind of eye surgery did you do?
So I've had both eye sockets. I've had blowouts of both eye sockets.
Your shoulder surgery.
Rotator cuff surgery. Yeah.
You had a pec major repair, biceps tendon repair.
Keep expecting you to stop, and you're like, I'm
No,
about
that's
halfway
just-
through.
yeah.
You also had a knee scope, correct? You had a meniscal repair.
No broken fingers? That many?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick your finger, which one you want.
He's trying to straighten them if you're wondering. They don't straighten.
Oh.
You know, when you're looking back, wow, that's a lot of surgery time, but the career wouldn't have been what it was without it.
Okay, so the plan is to resurface your hip. and then put in the metal ball, metal socket. We're gonna get you up today, then we'll let you leave the hospital. Yep. And
Although Vince has given me a lot of grief about not leaving the same day. He asked, "What time's your surgery?" And I was like, "Well, I think it's 1:15." He says, "Does that mean you're gonna leave at 5:15?" And I was like, I gotta fly. I gotta fly somewhere. So we're worried about blood clots and stuff like that.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I left.
Tell him to keep the testosterone in the ring. So
Yeah. He's
there's no need to rush the recovery.
Yeah, he's funny.
So we're gonna be safe about it. Any other questions?
No, I'm figuring what 7 years. I mean, you ought to have this stuff down, right?
Done a lot of them in 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Yes.
For me, I sit there and pray that everything's going well, that Dr. Sue has laser-like focus and that the recovery will be good, and completely trust Dr. Sue. He's the best at what he does. But that doesn't change the fact that my husband's going in there, is being put under with a very major surgery. There's always complications and you just never know.
Just another day at the office, right? The biggest wrestling star of all time. Nothing to be nervous about.
I guess we'll mark out of it, right?
They give me the good stuff, and then I do remember my theme playing, and so I slowly dozed off into oblivion.
Great, we're doing a right hip resurfacing. There's our mark. Being able to operate on a physical specimen like Mark is kind of a treat. So we're going to smooth it out with these instruments and create space for the new joint. Everything is gigantic. Everything is really clear, and his bone was really good quality. His bone is going to support that implant for years and years to come. So going very smoothly. He's going to get good relief and recover very quickly. Okay, now we're going to close up. Yeah. I brought the.
That's cool.
So that way you can. You have one of these, but it's always kind of cool to see that. It's
This is incredible. It just spins.
the cobalt chrome, and yours is the biggest size they make.
That's just the coolest thing.
Mark,
Thank you, sir.
my pleasure.
Thanks, Dr.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good. Next door on the left, if you were to go in.
Already feel better. The pain from putting weight on it is gone. It was amazing to wake up and be pain-free.
How much weight do you feel like you're putting through that right leg?
I'm putting more, definitely
Good
more.
amount?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just amazing though. He has zero pain in that joint after having chronic pain for at least 10, 15 years. Today he is walking straight on crutches.
Typical recovery, people can get up the same day and start to progress. The first phase is walking.
Left leg goes up, right leg together. Yeah, and then just watch your head at the top. Good, nice and easy. Very good. You'll just go back, we'll talk through some things. And then I'll do my discharge paperwork for you from rehab.
Right. And if this one is half as good as the other one was, then that's Christmas, you know?
Yeah, but it's also where it comes into play where it's both like a blessing and a curse. Obviously, it's a blessing of how good you're going to feel. We all know that. It can also be bad because of how good he's going to feel. And Lord knows what kind of test he might want to put on the new hip.
Around April.
Around April, oddly enough. Weird. I'm sure I'll be hearing it's in New Orleans, and I don't remember my last match there with Brock because I was so severely concussed. Even after watching it back, I still don't remember it. So I'd like to remember my last match in New Orleans.
I did watch that one back.
To
That
see
was
if he
just-
could remember anything, and he couldn't.
If I could, if I could see whether or not I remembered anything.
So I can see
which
you
didn't.
saying,
Or to pick up where I got concussed, and I can't. There's no, I can't pinpoint where it was, but anyway.
I've changed.
I've changed.
Since yesterday? Physically.
Being able to walk around pain-free, that's been huge. And the emotional freedom of not being in pain. I was just loving life and being able to do things that I hadn't been able to do in a while and do it without pain, and it was nice.
Selfishly, I wanted him home because I wanted him to just personally be able to enjoy being in a little less pain. You know, being able to run around with the kids. Soccer games and softball games and volleyball tournaments and school events. Granted, we're Uber drivers for the kids, but I don't think he'd have it, you know, any other way.
Michelle, she should get a medal for what I've put her through, what she's had to endure, and still wakes up with a smile on her face and attacks each day. She was able to show me what was important in life again, because I had kind of lost that.
He's super humble, super kind. I think people have this image of him walking around the house with his eyeliner on and his eyes in the back of his head half the time, but, you know, that only happens occasionally. He's also playful and romantic. People don't get to see that side of him.
When you think about soulmates and people say that, I mean, she's mine. I don't know that anybody would have stuck it out like she has and continued to grow and be a positive influence on our kids and people around her.
Ready? Crazy.
I don't really want to water up here, but I wouldn't be nearly the man I am today without her.
There were two people I did not want to meet when I started wrestling.
Kane
Yep.
and me.
Yeah.
One she found out was probably the nicest guy in the world,
which is Kane.
and she married the other one.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, she chased me.
Oh, Lord
for
have mercy.
Oh my God, months, years. Oh my God. All right, that could be a fabrication.
First thing that I was attracted to was just her desire to be better and her work ethic. It wasn't the blue eyes, the blonde hair,
What?
kicking body. Wait a minute, wait a minute, that's too much. Kids might watch this.
This is how simple he is. He really fell in love with me because I knew how to throw a football. That's the God's honest
it.
truth.
That's what sealed it for me. True story. So it was a TV day. I had a little football. So get the football. So we're throwing the football in the arena, right? I won't name names to embarrass anybody, but I mean, there were a lot of wounded ducks being thrown, and
Yeah.
she just happens to walk out, picks it up, and throws about a 35-yard spiral. Just scorched it. I kid you not. You know, I'd never seen a girl throw a football like that. And it was like,
Look, all the McCool girls learned how to throw a football. If you're going to throw it, it's like, if you're going to throw it right. Who knew?
I was pretty impressed.
knew men
That's
were
what
that
really impressed
simple?
me more than anything was like, wow, she can throw a football.
That's when he started really trying to put on the charm. Yes, love?
Wake me up when she's done, please.
I said I was gonna come down there. Do you want me to come down there?
Yes.
Daddy's trying to kick me out.
Oh, good grief. So My contract during this time expires. And I think it was sometime in August, I went up to Stanford. This was probably the best opportunity for us to get together and sit down and figure out what my role, what my role with the company is going to be. I don't see myself getting in the ring again. I've said that before.
You think?
But I know, that Vince is going to want what's best for me, physically, mentally. We've had enough discussions that I know that. It's one of the questions I get more than any. What's Vince really like? Well, you take what you see on TV and then you amp it up in real life.
I love when your mom always says, do you think he's seen himself in the mirror walk like that?
Yeah.
Do you?
Kills my
Does
mom.
he ever look himself in the mirror?
His walk to the ring, Oh my gosh. I gave up on strategizing meetings with Vince a long time ago. I've been so dead set in what I was going to do and say in a meeting, walk out, the door shuts behind me, and then realize, like, I got absolutely nothing that I meant to say out. I mean, who's to say? Who knows? I don't know, really. Like I said, never say never, but
There you go.
well, where the hell is he?
No, he's not.
Oh.
He ain't here?
He's in the gym, so he wants you to just, you could wait in his office.
It is hard to describe the relationship between Vince and Mark. One, they've worked together for so long. They've both given each other so much, in regards to the business, but on a personal level. I mean, Mark named his son Gunnar Vincent for a reason. The only way I can describe it is they literally would take a bullet for each other.
I can't think of anybody more influential in my life other than my father than Vince. He'd be the first one to pat you on the back.
Thank you for today.
But also the first one to kick you in the ass when you needed it.
When you work with someone for so long and you get to know them and you're help building, we all help build the business together. So when you're doing that together, it's a special bond that you have.
Take was the guy who was always by Vince's side. Take was Vince's right-hand man.
Undertaker wasn't afraid to go and barge in and talk to Vince about something that wasn't right. He stands alone that way.
I would look at it as two old war buddies, two guys that have been in the trenches together, that have had their backs to the wall, that have fought competition in and out of the ring, have had to bunker down the same bunker together and fight through it. And I think the amount of respect that they have for each other is beyond words.
I think a lot of that stems from the fact that during the Monday Night Wars, a lot of the other top stars, they left. And there was never a doubt that Undertaker was going to be here and be loyal to this company.
I stayed by his side, even after all his hand-chosen favorites left town for greener pastures, more money. I stayed here.
Vince McMahon is one of those people that when you're loyal to him, he's going to be loyal to you.
Undertaker, Mark Calloway, is the most loyal performer I've ever dealt with. And he is the kind of man that you would want literally and figuratively in the foxhole with you.
I love Vince to death. I would take a bullet for the man, honestly, I would. Yes, he's my boss, my friend. He's been like a dad. He's been like a brother. He's been it all to me. I've gone through some really harrowing personal issues in my life. Kind of let them take over who I am as a person. The problems just became so monumental that I didn't really care about anything else.
Vince is one of the very few guys that knows Mark personally and sort of been through and helped him get through the ups and downs and the struggles that he's had in life and in his career and things of that nature.
He was the one that basically set me down in a chair and told me, he says, Mark, you need to quit feeling sorry for yourself. And I'm like, there's no other person that could say that to me that I wouldn't have got up, and just knocked the shit out of him. But it was Vince, and I knew it was true. And I knew where it come from. Tough love, but that's what I needed. And not because he was my boss or anything else, it was because he was my friend and he cared about me. He's an incredible man and a very important person in my life that has made me a much better man.
What has The Undertaker meant to WWE and to you personally? Thank you.
Can't do that.
Good, how are you?
It's good to see you.
I'm actually shocked.
Shocked?
Yeah, I was expecting at least another hour and a half.
I know.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got your swell on?
Yeah, I just finished up. We're trained back.
At the Towers on a Saturday. I don't know who meets on Saturday other than Vince.
I make sure you're here on time, right?
You know it. We're never late, never tardy. What you got?
You guys have enough of this, please. Thank you.
We had a long talk about my future, and he was like, "Well, what do you think? You think you're going to be ready?" And I'm like, I don't. No, I don't. If I don't get back in the ring again, I'm good. I don't, But I will. I'll train. And I said, if somebody gets hurt, then I'll be ready to go. I was saying it out of loyalty to a friend, I think. I guess when you've been with someone and worked for them for as long as I have and picks up the bat phone, I always answer.
And that's the thing. If he thinks Vince needs him, he's in. No questions asked, I'll get ready. I'll be in the bullpen, you just give me the signal, and I'm there.
I think I might have made a comment that my tank's empty, and he was like, I think he just kind of maybe reiterated what I had said. I was a little taken back because normally Vince is full throttle. It's like, nope, you can do that, you can do this forever, kind of a deal. Wait a minute. All right, is this some kind of double swerve? Like he's gonna tell me that I can't, so that I will? He can sell ice to an Eskimo. I mean, he's just that good. So I had to figure out what angle he was taking. Like, what are you challenging me? Thank you.
Thank you again, thank you.
I didn't quite know how to process right away.
I know. Legendary Kurt Angle, right there. There he is.
I've got my ass kicked many times by that.
Deservedly so.
Now we'll get some good stuff.
You don't mind that I predicted you were coming back to Mania, do you? Somebody got...
Everybody's got their opinion.
Yeah.
you know, so.
I bet it won't be Manny without him.
Well, I can tell you this, I feel a lot better than I did last April. The phone hadn't rung yet in my head. It tells me it's time. I know it will at some point. Hell, it may happen tonight.
Anybody in here?
But I don't know.
It's Tank. I said it's Tank.
It's kind of still a case of emergency break glass kind of deal. My mindset right now is still, if I don't get back in the ring, I think I'll be okay. One guy here I missed, I'd have loved to have worked with, AJ. He gets it. I mean, he really does. Reminds me a lot of Sean. Well, hey, brother.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
You're on the other side of things tonight, huh? You're the cheering section.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm the support team.
That's nice.
Up next is history. For the first time ever, 30 women will compete in a Royal Rumble match. Michelle McCool, a 4-time women's champion and one of the top women's superstars of the last 15 years.
It's always fun for me to watch her work. She has so much passion and so much fire for the business. Just to be there to support her and not have to worry about anything I had going on, it's a lot of fun for me.
Oh, eliminated by Natalya. What a performance, though, tonight.
I'm just glad that I could be there for her, because, you know, Lord knows she's been there for me. After the Rumble, Vince called me and asked me what I thought about a match with Cena. And even, you know, it was appealing in one sense, but still, I don't know that I was mentally prepared at that point for what it would take. It really wasn't a thought until I actually finally watched the match back. When I watched it back, it reaffirmed tenfold everything that I thought. I looked old, I looked slow, I was overweight, I couldn't move, and it just wasn't Undertaker-esque, I guess, in any sense, really. I had one match too many. Thinking in my head right now, please, please take me down. So that's when the wheels started turning, like, I need redemption.
The process became, I'll give you an answer after I see how I feel, working out for a few weeks, getting back in the ring, seeing how my hip does. And that's kind of where we began. WWE brought a ring down for me. There was this old jet ski repair place that's been abandoned since I moved out here to this area. It was just a disaster. I had to get the electricity turned on. I had to get the water turned on. The biggest thing was just cleaning this place up. Good job, baby.
Yeah, it was about as redneck as you can get, but it served its purpose and it served it well. It came down to maybe somewhere during the chamber, as I gave him a deadline on whether or not I felt like I could do, you know, I could be ready. Obviously, he had to have a deadline so that he could book his card, and I needed to know that I was gonna have what it took to be able to have that kind of match. What am I doing? I'm pretty sure I officially retired.
At least 5 times.
Huh?
At least 5 times.
To be able to continue to increase the speed and the movement and hit ropes and to take a bump and be able to get up and go, you know what? That's not so bad. That's pretty cool.
He felt good and he said, record this. I was like, okay. So he hit the ropes 3-4 times, took a couple bumps. Came into the corner and he said,
I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. I see you in New Orleans.
It was the day of the chamber that I sent him that. I think I sent it during the show. So that was kind of my little rib of trying to make it wait and draw it out as long as I could. He sent me a text. I think there was a expletive in it, and then, yeah. So I think he was excited to see me be able to move like that.
he knew it was a good idea. He knew it was gonna draw a lot of people. It's something that people probably want to see. I was like, okay, if you make this decision, we're gonna do everything we possibly can every single day to get you as healthy as we can and to get you as prepared as we can.
When I started, I was still really heavy. I was 315 pounds. I'd been lifting, but just lifting to lift, not really doing much cardiovascular-wise. So, I mean, we basically had to start at ground zero and start working on the cardio.
The worst thing about this nowadays, it takes me longer to get ready and warm up than it does to work out.
So right now what we're doing is we're just giving him a little bit longer time to warm up. We've learned that some athletes take a little longer, and because of his age and his injuries and everything else, we make sure that we get him really kind of a little bit warmed up just to get his heart rate up and also get that blood flow going. And then we transition into the workout.
Damn it! You have to think about all the ebb and flow that goes through a match. Once your cardio goes, and if you're 5 minutes in a match, it breaks down your ability to create in the ring, react in the ring, because all you're worried about is your air.
I couldn't get up like that last year without any weight.
The wheels started turning. Like, with the way I feel right now, I can go out and have a better match than last year. And then it basically turns into, no, I don't want to have just a better match. I want to have the match. Then it all starts flowing back. You want to steal the show. You want to create this unbelievable memory and have this, and then say, now I can make the decision. Now I can go out on my terms instead of it being something like that happened last year.
Come on, breathe. Nice. Nice job, brother.
You might be training alone tomorrow.
When you get in here and you get winded and you get gassed and you want to quit, you know, that's why this stuff's hanging up. I look over there, all those guys are looking back at me. Like, come on, you old sumbitch. Get off your ass and do this and do it right. As silly as it may sound, you draw energy from wherever you can.
So this is Harry's gym. He's got boom on the wall. Boom means hell. Welcome to hell. Because the next hour will be total hell.
I didn't think this workout was gonna be this this taxing cardiovascular-wise and the heat I didn't expect. It's almost 90 degrees today. Yesterday it was in the 60s, tomorrow it'll be in the 60s. Today it just decided to be 90 degrees because they knew we were coming to Harry's Hotel of Hell. You hear him laughing? See, that's a sadistic individual over there. Nobody else feels sorry for me. I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself. I shouldn't have been in the ring last year. Simple as that. It won't happen again. You can bet that.
You see, the difference between you and me is when I fail, I get back up, I put a smile on my face, and I go to work to kick ass the next day. When you fail, you hide your head in the sand, never to be seen from again, because you're so ashamed and embarrassed of what people will say about you. You are not too old, you are not washed up, you are not broken down, because if you was broken down, you wouldn't be posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram.
I think knowing what you want to achieve in any sort of storytelling is the most important thing. And with this story, we needed to bring back The Undertaker.
Do you want to see The Undertaker kick my ass at WrestleMania?
Oh, I get chills thinking about it because it was really, the energy was there, the anticipation was there. They just want to see the guy.
So, Undertaker, at WrestleMania this year, I'm either going as a fan or I'm going as your opponent, which will be history. If I was you, I know what I would do. I would want one more match.
At this point, rain, snow, sunshine, whatever it is, we have to get our work in.
Good thing somebody put this tarp on.
We're trying to accomplish two things. One, we're going to formulate what my warm-up before the match will be, because I want to have broken a sweat and be warm and fluid and able to move instead of having to warm up through the course of the match. And then was fortunate enough to have Primo come in, somebody who's very good in the ring, very quick, very fast. You know, that's a lot different than just hitting ropes and taking back bumps. Give me the turnbuckle, let me stagger out, and then give me a clothesline down. Okay. No, I'm good.
I was surprised. I didn't know what kind of Taker I was going to see, but he came out of his car and I see him. You know, he looks healthy. He lost 30 pounds, so I know he's dedicated to tear it up come Mania. One thing I could say about Taker is that he never phones anything in. He doesn't half-ass do anything. Either he's Taker or he's not Taker.
I can't remember the last time I had to move that fast.
Nope, you look good.
Yeah.
You're up to date, man. You're up to date.
Thanks.
You got it.
I feel like I need redemption. That's the driving force. That's the best way that I can describe it. This is a clean slate. All the 27 years prior, none of that means anything at this point. This is a brand new Undertaker, and I'm going out there to prove to the world who I am and what I do. It's fun to be able to see the work that you're doing paying off. It still has to pay off on April 8th to make it all mean anything at all.
settling in now. Just the last couple days, been at home by myself. The family's already here. This is kind of, trying to not get in my own head. I'm happy where I'm at. It's probably the best version of me since the first WrestleMania match with Shawn. No, you're in game mode, so. I plan on being full-on Undertaker tomorrow night. To be completely honest, I mean, after last year's performance, I think there was a lot of reason to doubt, That's not how I want to be remembered. So, yeah, it's for the fans, but yeah, a lot of it's for myself and my pride and the legacy that I want to leave in this business. Everything out there is all speculation. There's people even put together the fact that because Kid Rock was inducted into the Hall of Fame last night, that I'm going to come back as the American Badass.
How are you?
There's too many conspiracy theories.
Okay, I'm gonna wear this one. That goes with me. So when I come up, you're flat. 1, 2, and then we start going down. Okay.
It's kind of creeping in that there's a good chance that tomorrow's the last time that I make that walk, and a part of my life, an important part of my life will kind of stops, and I turn the page into a new chapter.
Sure, it takes the mindset of the performer to go, okay, right, this is it. But then the match has to live up to those expectations. And as a performer, your expectations are always up in the moon. That's where you got to shoot for. That's where a guy like Undertaker shoots for, or he wouldn't be the Undertaker.
It's an honor to be able to get in the ring with John Cena.
Only one Cena, and there's only one dead man.
We've had one singles match in his entire career here, which is just amazing.
I really do think you're going to see the old Undertaker. And you're going to see someone that's going out to prove something. You have a man in Mark Calloway that wants to go out on his own terms. And Mark Calloway is going to go out the way that he wants to go out, and that's on top in the best performance of his career.
He always says, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I'll ever be. So, that's kind of his motto. I'm not as good as I once was, but you know what? I can go out once a year and be as good as I've ever been. So I believe he's going to do that this year. He feels good. He looks good. It's going to be good.
It's been a very well-orchestrated, concerted effort by everybody to kind of keep things under wrap. Even my shrouded golf cart out there. Got my little ride in here on. It was definitely some spec op stuff.
After
After repeated pleas for a match with The Undertaker, John Cena lived up to his promise.
You won't fall, I got you.
And he's here as a member of the WWE Universe.
There's a reason I'm sitting here. Not only do I have a ticket, but I actually have full jean shorts on. These are extended jean shorts. I think this is the first time in history, so this is a history-making night.
Whether it's a good match, bad match, that I'm not so concerned about. More importantly for me is to perform at a level that people expect me to be at.
The pants I wore last year.
I want them thinking,
Two.
this guy's got a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
If I can leave with that, I'll be content. I can walk away. I say that, but I've been saying it for a long time.
I need everybody to step out, please.
I think John Cena's had enough. Cena very upset tonight. Didn't get what he wanted at WrestleMania, so he's going to take it out on Elias.
Obviously, Undertaker's not here, and I understand John's disappointment.
Right here. Clear hole, clear hole. We're coming in hot.
The dead man has risen. The most prolific performer in WrestleMania history has answered the call.
Two absolute icons of our industry doing battle at the showcase of the Immortals.
Taker out of the blocks, rights and lefts. The best pure striker in history of WWE is taking it to Cena.
I, for one, will not underestimate which Undertaker we are going to see. It's one thing to come back, but to come back and look like this.
John just saw a ghost. The franchise player is about to encounter the Reaper.
Rest in peace, John Cena. Not just beat John Cena, he routed John Cena in the Superdome.
body did everything that I asked it to do. And I didn't have to ask it, I just did it. I didn't have to think about how I was gonna hit the ropes or how I was gonna get my foot up or how I was gonna punch or how I was gonna do anything. I just did it.
The Undertaker is back, better than ever.
As strange as that sounds, it's been a while since I've had a match where that was the case.
You make me come back and watch you every year.
I don't take anything for granted. None of this happens without him. He gave me an opportunity a long time ago. Obviously changed my life. It's something that I do every year. Give him a hug and tell him thank you. You know, last year, I mean, it was obvious that I had no business being in the ring.
I just want you to know that bothers me. I didn't have it. You know that.
Someone like Undertaker who gives his life through good times and very bad times in this business feels a certain way when he feels he could have done better, which is a shame because we all love him because he's the Undertaker. I hope from this day forward he understands who he is, and I hope he appreciates it.
It felt good. You know, I just, selfishly, I would have, you know, liked to have been out there a little longer, but it is what it is, and, you know, kind of bittersweet.
Short.
Not what I trained for, but, I mean, we don't sell time, I guess. We sell entertainment, so hopefully that's what they got.
I train for 45 and I get 5. You know how it goes.
Mission accomplished in what we set out to do. I had a lot more in the tank tonight. I mean, you know, and yeah, at the end of the day, that's what I wanted. I just thought that was gonna happen after a 30-minute back and forth slugfest war. Hopefully people are gonna wonder tonight, like, wow, what's he do next? You know, it's been a running joke how many years I'm gonna retire. I think if I had to, I could. It's just a matter if I want to. I could look at it like, okay, you can still go. Now, do you want to go? I mean, I don't, it's just, there's no sense in even giving me an answer, really, because I couldn't give you an honest one.
Well, I'm looking for that one match that brings me back to yesteryear.
If he has to put his body on the line, he'll just keep doing it.
The world is witnessing this match. 4 legends.
We did not deliver.
It couldn't have gone any worse.
It was a total train wreck.
Which means he's gonna have to redeem himself. Here we go, it's gonna be a vicious cycle.